India's weakening currency is just one challenge for the economic powerhouse. It also faces slowing global demand and a possible recession in major economies. But recent jobless data pointed to an improving labor market, which experts say is indicative of India's economic recovery. Still, those in some parts of the country see slim chances of getting a job, as Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
Here in the national capital, New Delhi, the unemployment numbers are at 16%. It's among the worst figures in the country, with only Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana and Tripura doing worse. While the overall average national unemployment numbers have improved in the past 4 months, experts say that a lack of jobs in urban centers is still a major cause of concern. According to recent data from the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, more than 8.5% of urban population is unemployed, while that number is just under 6.5% in villages. Experts say with more than 20 million young people joining the workforce every year, more needs to be done to create jobs. Many had hoped for the government to focus on job creation in the newly unveiled annual spending plan, but the opposition parties say that hasn't happened. On the contrary, critics say the government has cut the budget for rural employment programs, which could hurt millions of Indians. Officials say they are spending on building public infrastructure that will create millions of new jobs over the course of next few years. But experts say that authorities also need to focus on upskilling the youth. Roughly half the country's population is under 30 years of age, and exponential investment in upskilling them will not only make them more employable, but will also increase the quality of their jobs. Ishan Garg, CNA, New Delhi.